Hi, everyone. This is my story about visiting and learning about energy. In 2011, it all began, and it started with this book that a client gave me, and I didn't know what to do with it, but I decided to read it. It was very interesting, and what I learned from reading this book was that I had been coaching myself for the last 20 years. I started to notice energy, and it didn't really feel good. The positive energy was great, but that negative energy was really draining. And so on a trip, after some knee surgery, I started to meet some interesting people. In the process, I decided to go to a seminar where you were to get motivated, and the speaker that enticed me to change my life was a guy that wasn't even one of the famous ones. From that conversation or listening to that speech, I decided to call a friend who is coaching and started asking questions about coaching and how it could change my life. I started to really need to have this positive energy, and one of the things I got permission from was to start meeting lots of different people and talking to all kinds of people and getting to know how energy was showing up, because that was really important to me. I started asking questions. I wanted to go to a happy island where only happy people could be. So I started trying to vision, what does this happy island look like? And where is it? And how do you create it if you don't have it? And so through all the questioning and starting to see some patterns and trying to understand even my own energy and understand what triggered me and why I needed this happy island so much. And one of the things I really learned was how to pause and really start to change my life. So in early 2013, I went to a camp in California, and I created a vision board. And part of following your dream and finding what you want is to create something that you can look at a picture. And for me, being a very visual person, this was really important. And I started to understand what I wanted and what I wanted to create and how I was going to do it. And I started talking to anyone and everyone, and finally met somebody that really liked my idea and helped me to make it happen. And next thing you know, I had rented a space, and I was started to fulfill my dream of creating this happy island where people could go and really start to learn about how energy affects us and how we can change our life if we choose to. For me, I had started to notice this energy everywhere, and during my build out of my process, one of the things I learned was to trust the process, because while I was building this place, I had a trip planned that I hadn't thought about, and so I decided to leave the contractor with the keys and see what happened. And when I came back, voila. No, not really. Then I had to go shopping and create the space. But within about another month, this is what it looked like. And I now have a really great place that's known, well, at that point it was known as your meeting place, also known as my happy island. And if anybody knows me, I love reading and sharing what I read, and that's like my purpose, is to collect and connect people with resources. And as I'm going through this process, I had to define what it actually is at the Happy Island, and it's a place to come and replenish your energy and to refill your tank. And if you don't know if your glass is half empty or half full, you have the opportunity to refill it. In 2015, I met my business partner, which also was part of my journey to try to find somebody that wanted to share this idea with me. And out of the blue, from talking to people, it just happened. And so after getting to know each other, we decided to take a leap of faith, and we decided to put our two businesses together. And so we married Dynamic Growth with Your Meeting Place, and now we have Dynamic Growth at Your Meeting Place. And we created a process called Living and Leading with Intenergy, because intentional energy is just amazing, and we wanted to be able to share that process with whoever we came in contact with. And that's the story of dynamic growth at your meeting place, and I look forward to seeing all of you there at some point. Thank you.